Hey guys, Andy here. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 8 of Andy's Podcast Hour. So today I got, let's see, this is Episode 8. So 9, 10, 11, 12. I got four more episodes to go until the season finale. So without further ado, we'll be discussing more cartoons. So first, the Jetsons. Also there's gonna be like a Jetson ripoff too. So the Jetsons originally aired in 1962 to March 1963. This is an animated sitcom, just like the Flintstones. Yeah, the Flintstones was the first cartoon to be aired in primetime. This was this was re-aired back in 1995 and 1987 with new episodes. And the voices of George O'Hanlon, the voice of George, Penny Singleton, Dallas Butler, Don Messick. Yeah, plus I discussed Dallas Butler and Don Messick in one of my episodes. This was originally aired on ABC TV for the first season, and is on syndication second and third seasons. While the Flintstones lived in a world which was comic version of the Stone Age, with machines powered by birds and dinosaurs, the Jetsons lived in a comic version of the century in the future. Basically the 21st century, no doubt, but it was there in the 60s. The premise was the Jetsons reside in Orbit City. All homes, businesses were like high-rises. George lived with his family in sky-pad apartments with his wife, with Jane's wife as a homemaker. His daughter Judy attends over high school. Elroy attends Little Dipper School, and they got a robot maid, Rosie the robot. And get this, George's work week consists of an hour a day, 2 days a week. And could you guys imagine that? An hour a day, 2 days a week with 4 days off? Yeah. And yep, there they are. George, Jane, Judy, Elroy, Astro, and Rosie. Yeah, according to this, George is age 40, the main character and protagonist. Yeah, Jane is 33, about 7 years younger than him. Judy is 15, and Elroy's 6.5, later age 8. Yeah, he's highly intelligent and expert in all space sciences. So my guess he could get a job at Google or something. Yeah, Cosmos Spacely, George's boss and owner of Space Rockets. His company was founded in Newfoundland in 1937. Also, he has a bad temper. I think all bosses in cartoons have a bad temper. Yep, that show has George O'Hanlon, who passed away back in 1999 because I think that was his last role in Jetsons the movie, which I've seen. Also, they made a crossover with the Flintstones. Yeah. The Jetsons meet the Flintstones. This is like the first and only crossover between the Flintstones and Jetsons. Well, the main premise, I was busy working on a time machine, and in the Stone Age, woman better trying to convince Fred to have a vacation in Honolulu Rock or Honolulu, Hawaii, in the Flintstone age. So the Jetsons decided to take a trip to the 25th century to relax. Right before Elroy gets the machine working, Astro accidentally such to switch to past. With no job, the Flintstones and rebels are forced to settle for a camping vacation. the Jetsons arrive in the past. Also, Fred is amazed by the features of gadgets and decides to help his boss, Mr. Slate, in a contest for a company picnic. Also, this is George Slate. George is a distant cousin. Oh my god, man. Yeah, about the movie, the Jetsons are still stuck in the past, while the Flintstones are actually sent into the future. Yeah, Mr. Spacey concocts a plan to use Fred's cars and modify features and replicas. So Henry Corden, the voice of Fred Flintstone, also Alan Reed was replaced by Henry Corden. George O'Hanlon, the voice of George. Mel Blanc, the voice of Barney Rubble, Dino, Mr. Spacely. Janet Waldo, Dallas Butler. And the release. This was released on VHS 4 times. Plus, I've seen it on TV. And on August 24, 2017, Boomerang streaming service added the video to be on demand. Now, here's a blatant Jetson ripoff. See, Partridge Family, Partridge Family, 2280. Right there, that's a blatant Jetson ripoff. AKA the Partridge Family 2200 AD. It's a 30-minute Saturday morning animated series and a spin-off of the 1970 ABC live-action sitcom The Partridge Family. This aired from September 1974 to March 1975. And this was in pre-production. Hanna-Barbera originally proposed an updated version of the Jetsons, in which Elred would be a teenager and Judy would have a steady job as an ace reporter. CBS, under the leadership of Fred Silverman, he was a CBS TV exec, discarded the idea and decided to make an animated version of the Partridge Family instead. Well, you can't argue with the TV exec. So the Partridge Family had already been recurring characters on the previous Hanna-Barbera production, Goober and the Ghost Chasers. That's a Scooby-Doo spinoff, or maybe it's a ripoff for one thing though. Yeah, Danny Bonaducci, you may know him from True TV Presents World's Dumbest. Suzanne Croft and Brian Forster voiced their respective characters from the live-action series. 16 half-hour episodes were produced for The Partridge Family 2200 AD, which lasted half a season on CBS Saturday morning from September 7, 1974 until March 8, 1975, so that was like 6 months. So it was retitled The Partridge Family in Outer Space, when episodes were serialized on the syndicated weekday series Fred Flintstone and Friends. Like many animated series created by Hanna-Barbera in the 70s, it was a laugh track. In October 2005, 2 restored episodes of The Partridge Family 2200 AD, My Son, the Spaceball Star, and Car Trouble were included as bonuses on The Partridge Family, the complete first season DVD box set. Due to ties to The Partridge Family 2200 AD is the only Hanna-Barbera produced series since HP's 1967 sale to Taft Broadcasting, which are owned by Sony Pictures. Taft Broadcasting, whose predecessor Screen Gems produced the live-action series Genie, an animated spin-off of Live Dream of Genie, is the other. The copyrights of both animated series are currently CPT Holdings. So there's like 20, it's like 16 episodes. Yep. There was 16 episodes. Doing some laundry, Grandma?
Yeah.
That's good. How you doing? That's good. I'm still full from that toast with peanut butter. Some peanut in my mouth. I'll get that off. And I am back. So the Partridge Family and the Jetsons are the same thing, but it's they want Hanna-Barbera wanted to wait until updated, but thanks to a TV exec, they didn't. I can go on and on about spin-offs, but we don't have much time. So next stop is the Stone Age. The Flintstones. The Flintstones is an animated sitcom by Hanna-Barbera for ABC TV. And get this, this was the first animated series to be shown in primetime. This was broadcasted from September 30th, 1960 until April Fool's Day, 1966 in a primetime slot. The first such instance for an animated series. Also, the continuing popularity of the Flintstones rested heavily on the juxtaposition of modern everyday concerns in a Stone Age setting, and plus there's like crossovers between the Flintstones, Jetsons, and Scooby-Doo were like crossovers with the WWE in a sense. The overview was the show was set in a comical, satirical version of the Stone Age, which, although it uses primitive technology, resembles mid 20th century suburban America. And plus, in one of the episodes, the Flintstones traveled to the 1964 World Series, the World's Fair. I said World Series. What? Where did that come from? Yeah, the 1964 World's Fair. And people thought that the Flintstones were like actors dressed up as like a caveman. So the show set in Stone Town Bedrock, population 2,500. In this fantasy version of the past, dinosaurs and other long extinct animals coexist with cavemen, saber-toothed cats, and woolly mammoths. Yeah, and Fred Flintstone is the main character in the series. He's accident prone. Operator at Slate Rock and Gravel Company and the head of the Flintstone household. He's quick to anger, and get this. The Flintstones was based on the Honeymooners, aka the prehistoric Honeymooners, no doubt. Well, in part it was called the Flagstones, but the Flagstones was a comic strip high and lowest, because nobody doesn't want to get sued, right? Yeah, Wilma, his wife, and Pal was his mom. She's more intelligent and level-headed than her husband. She's often has a habit of spending money. Pebbles, as the Flintstones' infant daughter, who is nearborn the end of the third season. And quick side note, on the first few seasons were in black and white, and their sponsor was Winston cigarettes. And for the third season, it was more kid friendly, and their sponsor was Welch's. Plus, they turned the color too. Dino is the Flintstones' pet dinosaur who acts like a dog in a sense. Yeah, Baby Puss is the Flintstones' pet separatist cat, which Fred has seen in the actual series, but it's always been seen throwing out Fred out of the house. Wilma! Waking the whole damn neighborhood up in the process. Yep, Barney Rubble is the secondary main character and Fred's best friend next door neighbor. His occupation is unknown. The later episodes depict him working in the same quarters as Fred. He shares many of Fred's interests, also bowling in a sense. Yeah, Betty, that's Barney's wife and Wilma's best friend. Like Wilma, she too is slightly smarter and intelligent than her husband, has a habit of spending money. Bam Bam is the Rubble's, he's adopted. Whom adopted during the fourth season, he comes from the only phrase he ever says as a baby, Bam Bam! Yeah, there's Hoppy, the Rebel's pet kangaroo/dinosaur thing, which they purchased in the beginning of the fifth season. When he first arrives, Dino and Fred mistaken for a giant mouse. Isn't there there's like another giant mouse? Yeah, that's right, that was it's like Sylvester and his kid mistake a baby kangaroo for a giant mouse. Yeah, Hoppy gets help when they're in an accident. He babysits the kids as he takes them around in his pouch. And also there's a shopping cart for Betty as well too. There's Mr. Slate. And there's like lots and lots of guest stars. Yeah, voice actors Alan Reed and Jackie Gleason, who steers the Honeymooners as part of the Flintstones. Reed based Fred's voice upon Gleason's Honeymooners' interpretation of Ralph Cramden. Yeah, Henry Corbin's voice became Fred after Reed's death in 1977. A Flintstone Christmas, a man called Flintstone, and later on the Flintstones children's records. Since 2000, Jeff Bergman and James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Johnny Test, voices Fred Flintstone, and James, he combines like half of Alan Reed and half of Henry Corden together. Since Mel Blanc's death in 1989, he has been voiced by Jeff Bergman, Frank Welker, and Kevin Michael Richardson. Various additional character voices were Hal Smith and Janet Weldon and Dust Butler, to name a few. There's 6 seasons with, the 4th, 5th, and 6th seasons has 26 episodes each. Yep, that's one of the ads. Yeah, Winston cigarette commercial from 1960. And during the 3rd season, Hanna-Barbera decided that Fred and Wilma should have a baby. Originally, Hanna-Barbera intended for the Flintstone family to have a boy named Fred Jr., but he got scrapped. So the head of the marketing department convinced them to change it to girl sense girls. So girl dolls sell a lot better than boy dolls. Yeah. Around this time, Winston pulled their sponsorship, and Welch's grape juice and grape jellies became the primary sponsor, as the show's audience began to shift to a younger audience. In Australia, the Nine Network, that's like Australia, ran a Name the Flintstones Baby contest during the pregnancy episodes. Few Australian viewers were expected to have a US connection given the information about past Flintstone episodes. An American who won the contest and received an all-expenses paid trip to the Hanna-Barbera studios. Another arc occurred in the fourth season in which the rebels depressed over being unable to have kids of their own, making the Flintstones the first animated series to address the issue of infertility. They'll steadily adopt Bam Bam. The 100th episode made, but the 90th air. Little Bam Bam Rebel, October 3rd, 1963, established how Bam Bam was adopted. 9 episodes were produced before it aired afterwards, which explains why Bam Bam was not seen again until episode 101. That is anonymous. Bam Bam was a teaser in episode 98, Kleptomaniac Pebbles. Another story arc occurring in the final season centered on Fred and Bart's dealing with the Great Gazoo, voiced by Harvey Korman. After Pebbles' birth, the tone and writing became more juvenile, and ratings from the adult demographic began to decline. Wah wah. The last episode was broadcast on April 1st, 1966. So now the first 3 seasons of the Flintstones aired on Friday nights on ABC. Season 4 and part of Season 5 aired on Thursdays at 7:30. The rest of them aired Fridays at 7:30. Also, this was a syndication from Ted Turner's. At the time, Ted Turner's purchase of Hanna-Barbera in 1992, TBS TNT Cartoon Network aired the program. In 2000, the program moved to Boomerang. I've explained that. Yeah, I think that's like season. Wait, 1 second. Let's see, Andy's podcast hour. 1 second here, guys. Just 1 second. Alright, Andy's podcast hour. So I explained it in. I've explained it in season 2, episode 4. So go check out season 2, episode 4 of my podcast series, and yeah, just go check that out. Yeah, I'll put the link of that in the description, like that little I info button, I think. So it lasted until 2017, and its last years on the channel. It had been relegated to a graveyard slot, and returned to the channel on July 30th, 2018. And this was another version on Kids WB until that service was discontinued. And as of 2017, full episodes are only available in the US on Boomerang's subscription video on demand service, with select clips made available on the official YouTube account tied to the revamped Kids on WB website. And the reception. The night after the Flintstones premiere, Variety called it a pen and ink disaster, and the series was among many that debuted in a vast wasteland of the 1960 to 61 TV season, considered one of the worst in TV history up to that point. As late as the 80s, highbrow critics derided the show's limited animation and derivative plots. Hey, because in the 80s and 70s and 80s, it was like, it was like in a assembly line kind of thing. The Flintstones have been generally considered a TV cult icon, and was rerun continuously for 5 decades after its end. In 1961, the Flintstones became the first animated series to be nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Comedy Series, but lost out to Jack Benny. In January 2009, IGN named the Flintstones the 9th best in its top 100 best animated TV series. Sweet. So let's see. There's films. Following the show's cancellation, a film based on the series was created. The Man Called Flintstone was a musical spy caper that parodied James Bond and other secret agents. The movie was released to theaters on August 3rd, 1966 by Columbia Pictures. The show was revived in the early 70s, with Pebbles and Batman growing into teenagers, and several different series and made-for-TV movies broadcast on Saturday mornings. With a few shown in primetime, there are in order: The Pebbles and Bam Bam Show for one season, the Flintstone Comedy Hour, the Flintstone Comedy Show, Fred Flintstone Friends, the new Fred and Barney Show, Fred and Barney Meets the Thing, the Flintstone Comedy Show, the Flintstone Funnies, Flintstones Kids, and What a Cartoon, and Cave Kids. And there's the Flintstones on Ice, Energy, a National Issue. Yep, Energy, National Issue, alright. Yeah, History of Energy Sources. Yeah, the Flintstones started in like an Energy Crisis movie. The Flintstones 25th anniversary celebration. The Flintstones Kids Just Say No special. Yeah, that was like the drugs epidemic of the 80s. Hanna-Barbera's The Yabba Dabba Doo celebration and Flintstone Family Christmas, just to name a few. And there's Flintstones Christmas Carol and Flintstones on the Rocks. Live action films of Flintstones and the Flintstones at Viva Rock Vegas. The Flintstones in WWE Sony SmackDown. Yeah, that was like a crossover between the Flintstones and WWE. And there was an upcoming animated film. It's was of 2018. It's still in development. And there's theme parks. Yeah, live theater. That's pop culture. That's the Cypress, no doubt. That's pop culture. The Simpsons referenced the Flintstones in several episodes. There's Homer's Night Out, the couch gag of the Camp Krusty, the Simpsons family arrive home to find the Flintstones already sitting on the couch. Yeah, there's like, it's kind of the Simpsons and the Flintstones, like one of the same. Stern's cartoons. Yeah, plus like a meme called like Granddad Flintstone or whatever. Seriously guys, don't put that in the comment section, alright? Yeah, for those who don't know, Jesus, this is painful. Granddad Flintstones. Yeah, Flintstones or some Granddad gameplay or whatever. Seriously, guys, don't you have to put that in the comments. But and I've seen some of the comments like there's one dude, Flintstones theme acapella. This one dude named Acapella Treadball. He sings the Flintstones theme song. Yeah, Flintstones. Yeah, Herberville the Carnivore. Yeah, 7 gram barbershop. That played their joke on the way they cover. Yeah, it's like this Flintstones Granddad or whatever it's called. Seriously, guys, I can't stress this enough. Don't put that Granddad thing in the comment section, alright? And don't put that Flintstones or some Granddad thing in the comments, guys. If you do, I'll block it. I'll delete it. And so yeah, as suggestions on the Flintstones, I'm just gonna do. Yeah, I just discussed 3 cartoons in the span of, I don't know. I discussed the Jetsons ripoff. That's the Partridge Family 2200 AD and the Flintstones. So I might do one more. One second. I might discuss one of the Flintstones spinoffs, the Flintstone Comedy Show. This was a 60-minute Saturday morning series and spinoff of the Flintstones and the Pebbles and Bam Bam Show. It was produced between 1970. This was produced by Hanna-Barbera, which aired from CBS from was like a year and a half. The Flintstone Comedy Show was for a second season of reruns as a half-hour show. This is where Pebbles and Bam Bam have their new band called the Bedrock Rockers. The second half were created 4 new episodes and reruns of the Pebbles and Bam Bam show. Mickey Stevens plays Sally Struthers. Yeah. Gloria Stivic and the All in the Family. Plays Gloria Stivic on All in the Family. This was the final spin-off to feature Alan Reed as the voice of Fred Flintstone before Reed's death in 1977. The Bedrock Rockers were Pebbles, Flintstone, Bam Bam on the keyboard, and Bam Bam on the bass, and their friends. Yeah, it's like 15 songs, and this was the music with this was by various Screen Gems staffers, including David Gates, later of Bread. That's like a band. Yeah, that's band. Penn the popular Summertime Girl, Tony Dancy of Tony's Tigers, ran with Craig Fairchild and Jackie Mills on Being With You. Yeah, the voices are Alan Reed, Mel Blanc, Don Messick, Jay North, and Lenny Weinreeb, aka Scrappy Doo. Yeah, home media releases. So, 4 episodes were released as bonuses on the 2 DVD set, the Pebbles and Bam Bam show. The complete series by Warner Home Video, March 18, 2008. Note that these are simply the shows that do not feature the musical selections of the Bedrock Rockers, which have not been released in a commercial form. It's unknown when Warner Archive will plan the release of the entire complete series in its original form. Alright, that about does it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Hit that sub button for more Annie's Podcast Hour. Like, comment, and share this video. #I'm the creator. Stay tuned for Season 2, Episode 9. Bye, dudes.